No,
He's absolutely brilliant at
I mean,
what he
and
does.
he's very good at what exactly.
Yeah.
So
Makes-
you're going to have an inaugural podcast category.
And you don't
maybe it just speaks to living in the blue sky bubble.
Yeah.
But get out of your bubble. You know, I want to be one of you. I am one of you. But you're just so hard to defend because you're just such fucking smug assholes. And this town is the epicenter of the problem.
Bill Maher has turned his attention toward Hollywood, and the situation is intense. The well-known comedian who is famous for speaking his mind went after the movie industry for pushing what he calls woke ideas and trying to control culture in ways that he believes have failed badly. His criticism was harsh, non-stop, and he didn't apologize for a single word. So make sure you hit the subscribe button because we're diving straight into it.
I want to do something next year about celebrities, not to get too political, but they just make it worse.
Your whole career with that.
No, I mean with you guys.
Yeah.
They just make it worse, celebrities do, when they speak. And they're almost always on one side of the political divide.
Yes.
And that's basically the side I vote for. You know, as I always say to my woke friends, we voted for the same person. You're just why she lost. I could gather, and I think I will, because it'll be funny, just the incredibly stupid things that celebrities say about politics or finance or something.
Yeah, we're back.
And then, so if you're like the person out there going, well, how can you live on $100 million a year? Vote Kamala Harris. Like,
Yeah.
That's the game over.
Maher starts by calling out celebrities who casually support presidential candidates without really understanding politics or checking the facts. He admits openly that he voted for Kamala Harris, but he also says he believed from the very beginning that she was going to lose. According to Maher, her biggest problem was that she never clearly stood up against the unpopular woke movement, which left her exposed to angry voters. He says this weakness made her vulnerable long before Election Day even arrived. Maher claims he warned both Harris and the Democratic National Committee many times that ignoring public frustration would lead to disaster, but no one listened. Instead of facing hard truths, party leaders chose comfort and reassurance. At the same time, Hollywood celebrities rushed in with glowing endorsements, confidently saying she would win easily. Maher argues that this created a fake sense of momentum based on applause, social media praise, and moral posturing, not real voter feelings. In the end, reality hit much harder than any red carpet endorsement ever could.
I can't let country in the hands of these people. I'll vote for this guy who's crazy, but at least he's kind of crazy. I can almost relate to him.
You can't have movie stars and politicians that we know have hundreds of millions of dollars lecturing you. It's just the elitist thing that came out of all that, you know, the Democrats. It wasn't a positive thing. They are not going to do that in 2028. I bet they'll have regular
He's
people.
so thoughtful sometimes.
He's very smart about this.
Yeah, he really is.
I have a lot of opinions, but I have a job.
You should do the show.
Dana Carvey believes that celebrities may now think twice before quickly endorsing political candidates, especially Democratic ones, after seeing how badly the last round of endorsements failed. Carvey says the results clearly show how out of touch Hollywood activism has become with everyday voters. He believes celebrity political lectures often sound clueless and don't help at all. In his view, it feels elitist when rich entertainers, protected inside their Hollywood bubble, fly in to tell regular Americans who they should vote for. Carvey explains that this kind of top-down moral preaching pushes away working-class voters who already feel ignored, talked down to, or misunderstood by cultural elites. Instead of building trust, celebrity endorsements often increase anger and doubt toward the political system. He adds that voters don't want advice from red carpets or private jets. They want leaders who understand high prices, safety concerns, and real-life struggles. Until celebrities understand that gap, Carvey says their political influence will keep shrinking instead of growing.
Oh, you
I
quit?
just got a Golden Globe nomination for the one I did.
Oh, really?
That's yesterday.
How often do you get nominated for your specials?
Nothing. I used to get nominated for everything.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
the wokeness came in, and then I was considered conservative.
Are you bad?
Ridiculous.
Because
So I was so what I call soft canceled,
yeah.
where you don't,
Well, I'm a Bill Clinton liberal, which is from the 90s, which is now called
Me too.
a Nazi.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You're a
So-
white supremacist.
So this is the first time in a while I've been nominated for something,
Okay.
which I think shows a little bit that we are coming out of the wokeness. I mean, I'm not going to win, and I'm probably not even going to go. but I take it as a victory that they were not able to ignore how good that special was. I just say that's my last one.
Maher then talks about what he calls being quietly pushed aside simply because he refused to fully support the woke crowd. Before he spoke out, his comedy specials regularly received big award nominations and praise from the industry. But once he started openly criticizing progressive ideas, those invites slowly disappeared. Maher says he wasn't officially banned, but he was clearly ignored, sidelined, and pushed out of view. The message, according to him, was simple: agree or disappear. For years, he watched other comedians play it safe while award season passed him by. Now, as public opinion shifts and the grip of woke culture weakens, Maher suddenly finds himself welcomed again. His recent Golden Globe nomination feels less like luck and more like proof of that change. To him, it shows that Hollywood follows trends, not principles. Credit goes to Maher for standing his ground, taking the backlash, and refusing to stay silent when staying quiet would have been easier.
It's not one that the woke can watch and not throw up, because I call their out where it's, and the fact that people are laughing shows that it's funny. When you do stupid things, it's funny, and the left did a lot more stupid things in the last 5 to 10 years. And I'm a comedian. I go where the gold is, and it's hitting the side of a barn to make fun of some of this.
It's too easy.
I mean, if you think, I quoted like very esteemed publications like The Atlantic, or saying things like, separating sports by sex doesn't make sense. Well, if that's not of course it does. You can't, if anybody can't do 5 minutes on that.
Yeah.
Or Mr. Beast, who was helping disabled people, and the Washington Post guy was tweeting like, he thinks disability is something that needs to be solved.
Over the past few years, Maher has faced non-stop criticism for his strong anti-woke views. Many people thought the pressure would eventually break him, but the opposite happened. Instead of backing down, Maher doubled down and used a large part of his latest comedy special to openly attack the far left while others avoided the topic. That kind of boldness takes real courage in an industry where careers can disappear overnight. Maher knows the risks, yet he keeps saying what he believes no matter who gets upset. Meanwhile, many comedians backed off at the first sign of trouble, choosing safety over honesty and applause over truth. Maher didn't.
Did you see that there's a podcast category at the Globes?
Oh,
No,
really?
you know what someone said? I thought
Is
they were
there?
kidding.
Oh,
I would think you.
did we get nominated?
No,
We're defending
wouldn't you have
champions, you
known it
know.
by now.
We won the
We got-
comedy
yeah,
I
we
podcast.
got
only
that
nominated
comedy.
like the super woke stuff.
Maher and his guests also questioned why Joe Rogan was completely missing from this year's Golden Globe podcast nominations. For years, the Joe Rogan Experience has been one of the biggest and most influential podcasts in the world. Its audience size, cultural impact, and long-running success are almost unmatched. Still, Rogan was strangely left off the list. Maher says that omission makes no sense. In his opinion, it has nothing to do with quality or popularity and everything to do with political views. He argues that Rogan's willingness to challenge progressive ideas has made him unacceptable to award decision makers. According to Maher, Hollywood now rewards political loyalty more than actual talent. Voices that repeat approved opinions are praised, while successful outsiders are quietly shut out. The result, Maher warns, is an award system that feels more like ideological control than real recognition. Intro 6. Maher then launches into a harsh attack on Hollywood itself, accusing it of being trapped inside a self-made liberal bubble. He says studio leaders, award voters, and celebrities are so cut off from reality that they refuse to engage with anyone who disagrees with them. Instead of open discussion, disagreement is punished through silence or exclusion. Maher believes this has turned Hollywood into an echo chamber where agreement is rewarded and different opinions are treated like crimes. He again points to Joe Rogan, saying the podcaster was pushed aside not because he lacks influence or skill, but because he refuses to fully support woke ideology. In Maher's view, Hollywood no longer values open conversation, it values obedience. By shutting out voices like Rogan's, he warns the industry is proving how disconnected it has become from millions of Americans who don't think or vote the same way.
You're going to have an inaugural podcast category.
And you don't
Maybe.
have-
It just speaks to living in the blue sky bubble.
Yeah.
But get out of your bubble, I want to be one of you. I am one of you. But you're just so hard to defend because you're just such smug assholes And this town is the epicenter of the problem.
Maher strongly criticizes what he sees as the woke movie industry, putting activist pressure above good storytelling and artistic quality. He says Hollywood now bends over backward to please online activists by creating award categories that celebrate symbolism instead of real achievement. He points to the category Picture People Liked as a perfect example of how far things have fallen. Maher jokes that it sounds less like a serious award and more like a participation trophy meant to avoid hurting feelings. In his opinion, award shows are so desperate to stay relevant that they've lowered their standards. Instead of honoring excellence or creativity, they keep adjusting the rules to satisfy loud online demands. Maher warns that this constant virtue signaling doesn't improve movies, it cheapens them.
The thing about the Oscars is they do reflect society. That's why we pay so much attention, partly. And things are always changing in our industry, like streaming. You know, it just changed the whole industry. This happens so often. So they have to come up with new categories for the awards. The Golden Globes came up with a new one this year. Basically, picture people liked. They had become such self-congratulating, virtue-signaling bores that they had to go, oh yeah, let's make a category for that. People actually paid to see something great.
Maher then turns his focus to Hollywood executives, mocking them through sharp parody and jokes aimed at the Oscars and Golden Globes. He invents exaggerated woke-style awards to copy what he believes the industry is already doing, using humor to point out how ridiculous things have become. These jokes aren't just for laughs. They are meant to show how empty and performative many awards now feel. Maher argues that honors once meant to celebrate great filmmaking are now watered down by political box checking and moral signaling.
So there's some new Oscar categories. Would you like to hear the Oscar category? I know you will. For example, this was needed. Best editing of a film that's still an hour too long. Achievement in ethnic prosthetics. Best achievement in replacing an actor who tweeted something offensive. Best use of a freeze frame, followed by the words, "You're probably wondering how I got here."
By making fun of awards that value messaging over talent, he shows how little these trophies really mean anymore. In his view, Hollywood has replaced real achievement with symbolic praise, turning major ceremonies into self-congratulatory shows. When everyone wins, nothing truly matters. Maher's final message is clear. Hollywood, he says, has lost its direction. Obsessed with ideology and approval, it now rewards agreement instead of creativity. By pushing away different voices and inventing meaningless awards, it has drained the value from both comedy and film. Love him or hate him, Maher's words connect because many people are tired of this trend. When art turns into activism and applause replaces honesty, credibility disappears and no number of trophies can fix that. And that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.